It is therefore the PIOJ's assessment that the Jamaican economy, though facing a downturn in economic output, is not in a recession. The use of GDP alone to determine a recession has its shortfalls, as echoed by most macro-fiscal institutions, for example, the IMF and the World Bank, among others. Economic analysts have progressively taken a more comprehensive view of a recession, which is that a focus on GDP alone is insufficient, and it is often better to consider a wider set of measures of economic activity to determine whether a country is indeed experiencing a recession. Specifically, economic indicators such as, but not limited to, income, employment, and fiscal health should be taken into consideration to reflect a more comprehensive view of whether or not a country is facing a recession. A recession is usually accompanied by a steady rise in job losses and a significant increase in unemployment. Notably, three criteria are usually used to assess whether or not an economy is in recession. These are: 1, depth, that is, how sharp is the contraction in economic activity. 2, diffusion, that is, how widespread is the decline across industries and economic actors, for example, consumers against businesses and government. And 3, duration, that is, how long is the decline in the macroeconomic indicators. Macroeconomic indicators such as GDP, gross domestic product, employment, real income, real sales, and so on are considered. And so with this definition in mind and the 3 criteria articulated, is Jamaica in a recession? Looking at GDP, the most widely used economic indicator, the official data from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, STATIN, shows a decline in seasonally adjusted real value added at constant prices, quarter on quarter, in the April to June and July to September 2024 quarters. This suggests that the Jamaican economy satisfied one of the criteria for a recession. There are some industries which have reported a contraction, and operators within these industries would be experiencing challenges. For example, the wholesale and retail trade, repair and installation of machinery, WR trim industry has been negatively impacted by the downturn in both the agriculture, forestry and fishing, and hotels and restaurants industries. The WR trim industry accounts for the largest share of GDP, approximately 17% as at September 2024, and is the single largest employer of labor at 18.7% as at October 2024. And this implies that operators in the industry, for example, micro and small businesses, would have experienced more challenges than operators in other industries that continued to grow. Note, however, that employment in the WR trim industry continued to increase during the period, increasing by 100 persons in July 2024 relative to April 2024, and by a further 400 persons in October 2024 relative to July 2024. The primary reasons for these quarterly contractions were the shocks to the economy as a result of Hurricane Beryl in July 2024 and the subsequent hydrological events, including Tropical Storm Raphael in November 2024. Given the nature of these shocks, it is likely that the impact will be temporary and will be reversed in the near term. Examining the other official data from STATIN on Jamaica's unemployment rate, another widely used economic indicator of a recession, we get a different picture. The unemployment rate for October 2024 is 3.5%, and employers have also lamented challenges and shortages in filling some vacant positions. This suggests that despite the temporary contraction in output, the labor market continues to remain robust and may be considered a lead indicator of a return to growth in the short term. This is also supported by the most recent data on business and consumer confidence levels, which indicate positive sentiments by both consumers and businesses regarding current and future economic prospects. It is therefore the PIOJ's assessment that the Jamaican economy, though facing a downturn in economic output, is not in a recession.